Welcome back to the Dave Knows Comics live stream. I know it's been a while. I'm your host, David Lee, and time to get everybody settled in, see who's up late. All you groovy late night cats out there, see who's still stirring about. And yeah, wanted to test this out, finally set up a rig. I know it's been a while since we've done one of these drawing sessions. So I decided let's test it out, and what better way to test things out than to also see who's still up late night, checking those notifications, making sure that they are working. That way we can get everything ready. Hey, Ron Hawthorne, what is up? Good to see you. Glad it is you that is here. Let's see who else is going to file in. We're going to let everybody file in. Take some sweet time. Hey, Mark Strike, good to see you. If it's been a while since you've been here, then welcome back. And yes, I know I still have the the Legion of Doom $15 super chat. Not super chat. The $15 game Legion of Doom to do. I know I still have that promise. Don't worry, it's still coming. Just gonna take a little bit of time. So today, I'm going to do something a little different. Now, this is just a preview of something I'm working on. Nothing to do with, it has to do with wrestling, but it has nothing to do with the channel. It's just something I'm working on, something I'm doing, just to give you guys a bit of a sneak peek. So in case you've never been around for the draw along sessions, you can more than welcome to draw along with me at home. Let's carry this out. Been a while, and unfortunately, I haven't been drawing. Admittedly, I haven't been drawing as much at home as I actually expected myself to do. During this whole time period, I've been doing less than I figured. Surprisingly less than I figured. Now, I'm not breaking out the super good stuff today. I have some of my equipment, good stuff, but like in terms of the paper, I'm just using my typical photocopy paper, my clipboard. This is what I've been doing ever since I was a kid. So we're getting the low-tech approach. And for both you guys who are special enough to be here, very much, thank you very much, but there is going to be a little bit of a, thank you for the thumbs up, by the way, guys. There's going to be a little bit of a fun giveaway we're going to be working on later on, something I've actually never done before on this channel. But anyway, so here we got, here's some of my equipment. I am going to be using some of the finer stuff, so I do intend to be using some of my better stuff, not my best stuff, not the best paper. That paper is expensive, and as you know, we're going through hard times, as you will. So hard times. By clicking on the beginning, you got to see the preview. So we're going to get to it. But since it's just the two of you guys here, we're going to work on something a little bit special. Ooh, excuse me 1 second. Gotta plug it in. Okay, so finally figured out this apparatus. So, okay, so whoever's left here, we're going to start a little bit of a contest. I'm going to draw you guys something, and if you reach out to me over on Twitter, I will, if you hit me up on the Twitter machine, send me a message attending this. If you were here live right now, we'll work something out. We'll work something out where you can actually get a digital copy of this drawing that I'm going to do for you. But I'll color it as well as send it to you. So all you gotta do is sit around and wait for me to finish live streaming. I'll tell you once we get the drawing process. I'll tell you how you can get that. Don't just hit me up on the Twitter now. It's going to be reserved for first come first served. This is your reward for setting your notifications and being up early, being up late, or either way. But we'll work on who gets it when later, but it's going to be during the course. People who are attending this live stream only, so don't hit me up after the fact. But first, let's decide who are we going to draw today. So going to try and get a good session in. Now, it's been a while, so I'm maybe a little rusty. As you see, I am picking it up a little bit, trying to get on the ball. But anyway, anybody you guys want to see me draw tonight, who are you looking forward to? Who do you want to check out? Who is on your mind? What comic book character would you like me to see? I know I started us off from a wrestling standpoint, and I also realize this table is shaking a lot. Hopefully that's not too big of a distraction. Hopefully we can mitigate that, or just all around forget about it. But yeah, any requests, superhero, supervillain, what are we looking for today? What can we do? Ron, Mark, any suggestions? Especially since it seems like one of you guys is going to be getting this lovely drawing, or a copy of it at least. Yeah. Black Panther. Ooh, okay, let's see. More Strike, you got anything? T'Challa's a good one. I've drawn T'Challa on the channel before. See, now, the fun part of T'Challa, the fun and danger of it, alright, doesn't seem like we got any takers, so you know what? Black Panther, it is. So Black Panther, away we go. Now, one of the... How do I want to do this? Now, just momentarily, please, just gotta think about how I want to draw. Pose of... Okay, I got something. One of the pluses and minuses of Black Panther is his costume is very, very simple. His costume is very, very simple, so that makes it easier to draw. Hey, Dale, how you doing? Hey, Jakiva, good to see you guys. We're going to be working on a second favorite Kirby design, Silver Surfer, being a close second. Very cool, Ron Hawthorne. Thank you for the insight. Yes, Kirby's designs are cool. See, the thing about Black Panther and Silver Surfer, though, as I said, it's a plus and a minus. It's a plus in that their designs are so simple, but because they're so simple, it's almost like cooking. The simpler a thing is, the more obvious, the easier it is to screw it up. And in a way, you almost have to, all the details, you almost have to add to it yourselves. Hello there, Samurai Productions. We will be talking about how to get a colored digital copy of this later on. So stick around, because it's, for people stick around for the live chat, not going to be around for the whole thing. Won't be able to watch it later on and get away with it. But yeah, so because of the simplicity of it, it does make things easier to draw in certain ways, but it also makes Black Panther harder to draw because there's so many ways you can expose yourself as screwing up. There's so many different ways that it can seem kind of flat and boring because you don't have as much context to hide behind. You don't have as many details. Like Iron Man is like a robot. With robots, you got tons of servos and gears and like little plates and everything like that. So if like you draw something too small, you draw something too big, you can like hide it and say, "Oh, this is an extra servo," or "This is a plate popping off his shoulders." No, I didn't draw one shoulder too big. That's an extra. Let me change it to being an extra plate. And you know what? There's another one on the other side. You can like hide things better with characters like that. Spider-Man's head, you can almost like dodge it too. It's like, oh wait, his head's too small. Okay, I'll just add another little row of webs to the top of his head to try and mask it. So it's like you can get away with things with more complex and, or like Carnage, easy to hide stuff with Carnage. Yeah, I meant that squiggle. That's part of the costume, you know. But those characters are a pain because they're so labor intensive to draw. There's just a lot more drawing. So characters like Black Panther, it's a plus and minus kind of thing. So characters like Black Panther I like because of the simplicity, but I also kind of hate it because of the simplicity because it means I can't get away with as much stuff. I have to concentrate a little bit more. And then to avoid the character looking flat, I also have to know how to add head details. And that's one of the things I'm actually typically weaker at. Throwing up extra tchotchkes and details, like knowing when to add things like rendering or making something look a little more refined, but or add more detail without it looking overdone. So that's one of the harder things for me, at least, because sometimes you get into the adding detail, and then eventually you get overblown, and you're like, oh no, I added too much. I done screwed up, pushed it too far. Alright, so thank you for joining me, guys. So yeah, like I said, stick around and we'll get you a copy of this. I'll be able to try and get you a copy of this if possible. And same thing with Silver Surfer, because Silver Surfer, while you think he's just a he's just a plain silver dude, it's like that the extra like metallic details are harder, become all the more important. And because it's all he's got, you kind of notice it more. Whereas like Iron Man, if he slacked off on the metallic details, no one really pays attention to it. But because of Silver Surfer, the less of it you have, the more, or the worse they are, the more apparent they are, because it's kind of what the character goes for. You know what? Because just talking about the details and all that stuff. So as I said, you stick around. We're gonna get you a color copy. I will find a way to get you a color copy if you have the Twitter machine. Which, by the way, I'm Stave Lee Wrestle over on Twitter. For those of you who don't know. Okay, but because of this, we're actually gonna go. I'm sorry if this is not what you wanted. I am going to apologize, but we were gonna go with. We're gonna go with the old school. We're gonna go with the old school. I hope you don't hate this. We're gonna go old school with the design, and this is going to be the old T'Challa with the cape. That's right. T'Challa had a cape once upon a time. Especially since, as I said, one more detail. I want to be able to hide things. I want to get away with more. Yep, he had that old Count Dracula head down there. So anyway, how you guys doing? You guard your yes. Hey yo, Harry Flynn. He debuted with the cape. That's right. So we're going old school with the cape. I don't know if you guys find it hideous or not, but Harry Flynn. Yeah, surprised you're awake. But yeah, so we're gonna go with the cape just because I want to add a little more detail to it, especially since some of you guys will be getting this lovely drawing. So, let's put a little more effort into it. I know the cape is not the most attractive thing, and it is very outdated, and it very much screams the time period in which this cape was created, or this character was created. So, I know it's not the most attractive piece of outerwear there is for a superhero. And while some guys pull off capes quite well, Batman, Superman, they pull off capes quite well. I actually think I think the Child's costume works better with that one. It's especially because he's got the cat-like thing, with the suit and everything. Like he's very ninja-like. It's like, what ninja would like walk around with a cape, with a giant cape? Like it would just be preposterous. You trip over it all the time. Regal characters pull off cape. He has a regal character, true, but in terms of functionality, I don't think the suit makes any sense. As I said, it's like a ninja walking around wearing a cape. He'd be falling over himself half the time. So Black Panther and the Avenger comic. Yeah, very good. The old school way. Something we talk about on this channel quite a bit. Change the stinks a little bit. Now, in case you're just wondering what I'm at the pre-drawing phase right now. Until the popularity of Black Panther movie. Yeah. The Black Panther movie definitely helped out his popularity a lot. Unsurprisingly enough. It's a very good movie. I enjoyed it a lot myself. It's like if you gave T'Challa a cape for ceremonial stuff, I suppose. But why would he be wearing a costume during ceremony times? Like, it just, as I said, it's one of those things that it's hard for me to justify. So yeah, this is the, and it's like, you know what, I mean, truth be told, like, Batman, it's kind of like hard to justify, why is he wearing a cape? It's like, I mean, he hides behind it, and it's like sometimes bulletproof or fireproof, so I guess, but, where T'Challa's vibranium suit is all those things. It's like, like the cape's not dodging any extra, like, bullets or anything. The one that's really hard to justify is Robin, I guess. Like, why does Robin wear a cape? Doesn't do anything. Like, and like back in the early days, it was like bright yellow. It's like, man, you stand out like a sore thumb. Ceremony poses, then lose it when it's time to get down to business. Yeah, but here's the thing: do you really see when he's doing ceremonial stuff? Like, he usually doesn't wear the garb. Like, you don't see him sitting on the throne in his Black Panther gear. That's like something he does when he's like superheroing. I mean, I obviously don't hate the cape since I am drawing him with it, but I almost want to beef this cape up even more and make it more like Spawn cape like. I'm not going to, but like, I'm not gonna like completely spawn it up, but I almost want to add more, make it quavial. was expecting Double A to show up. Don't know that he will, but I don't know what time it is for him. Might be past his bedtime. I know Double A has been very cool for these chats. From his artistic background, we get to discuss things or certain ideas that we can bounce off of each other. Not to say that we can't do that now anyway, but just saying. I know he's always good for that. All right, Robin wants to be like Batman with a cape. Ah, yeah, maybe it's copycatting. You got a point. Yeah, and you know what, you bring up another point. It's also like, he has a cat. It's like Batman, so he's got the bat wings with a cape. There is like a method to that madness, but Robin, it's like, okay, he's a bird, kind of, and it's like, cats don't. Wait, what's the cat represent? What does the cape represent for a cat? The more recent artists draw the ears like Hounds and Cat, make him look less like Batman. I kind of like the more Batman headgear kind of thing. Yeah, in case you're just joining us, we did have a little bit of a wrestling preview. There was a little drawing I was working on, wrestling related, not for the channel, just in general, that I was drawing. Other thing about Black Panther, when I'm doing a pre-drawing, I don't care about the face like at all because his face is so simple. Okay. What do you think? Am I done with the pre-drawing? Yes. I think I'm done with the pre-drawing. Okay, so Roy, so you know what I'm talking about. Okay, Roy. Ron, yes. I like it. You guys bonding. Everybody's talking nice. Alright, so tell me more about what your superhero likes and dislikes are. What are your favorite costume? Yeah, tell me about your favorite costume elements or things like that you like and things that you don't like. Things you think have outgrown. White eyes or pupils? Do you like to see pupils? Do you like to see white eyes? Boots? Shoes? Underwear outside? It's not really underwear, but you know what I mean. Outside of the pants. What do you guys think? Wizard magazine, popular comic book covers. The Thing comic, and the cover is one of them. Yes, Wizard magazine was fun, wasn't it? If it's still a thing, I apologize. But I don't know. I haven't seen it in forever. Screw this. I was gonna give him more realistic eyes. I don't know why. What am I thinking? As I said, for me, Black Panther goes into the Batman ruling. It's the triangles. Gotta go with the triangles. And yes, you can complain all you want that it's a Batman ripoff and I'm just ripping off Batman. You know what? I don't care. I like drawing it this way. He's like, it's a cooler Batman costume is how I look at it. One thing about Batman, and in a way, T'Challa too. Like, I understand that the character is going to have has actual human ears that you got to adjust or you have to recognize. But at the same hand, I do think it's like kind of weird. It's like he's got one ear here and then like another ear here. Like in a way, like I prefer to Michael Keaton. Actually, you know what? Screw it. We're doing it. I like the Michael Keaton costume, where it's just straight up. Like Jim Lee, I think he stopped, but for a period of time, Jim Lee drew Batman with his ears. Like they were blue, like they didn't stick out, not like Captain America. They were, but like there was an ear on the side of his head, and it was just blue. I think it was Hush. Like if you look at Batman and Hush, you can see like a pronounced ear through the cowl. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but yeah. All right, you know what? I'll make the ears more. There. Lovely pre-drawing for it. Now, well, I am adding more detail. This is still kind of like the pre-drawing. I'm just kind of finalizing more details. Like for all intents and purposes, I am actually drawing now, but I'm still going pencil and still sketching out. When I switch over to pen, not that pen. I want to use that pen. Switch over to one of these pens. As I said, I'm not bringing out all the good equipment today, but I am bringing out some of it. But times are tough now, as you guys know. I'm through hard times, baby. So I'm gonna, and that drawing stuff is expensive. I made this. Whoa, I mean, I'll be honest, I don't really know what this thing is called. But this, Count Dracula thing, I went banana sandwiches on this one. I gotta tone this down. You like the invisible human eyes the most, then gold, then white. Ah, yeah. No, I hear you on that. I mean, I like the triangles. I really do. I don't know why. I just do. Now here's this. The necklace. Well, typically, I've usually been a fan of drawing the necklace as a necklace. I kind of liked how they did it in the movie, the redesign for the movie, where it was more just like they were just like triangles, like it was more of a design than anything else. So I kind of like that. I think I'm gonna do that for today. The costume you like from the '90s were the white eyes. Yeah, always look cool. Torn up costumes. Yeah. Torn up costumes were awesome. Like Spider-Man when like the eye was like shattered like glass and like his hair was sticking out. It's like there was always levels of how jacked up Spider-Man got, and it's like the ultimate was when one eye's exposed, the other eye's cracked, hair's coming out of both sides of it, and his mouth is exposed and everything like that. Like that was because they did it at the end of the first Spider-Man movie, and it's like, whoa, oh, he got beat up pretty bad on this one. Mm. That's right, everyone has pouches. No, I'm not a fan of pouches either. I understand the tactical purposes of it, but I feel like you would have a better thing than a pouch with one button. Like, yeah, I get that you want to have a lot of like doodads and stuff. You don't want to be like Bugs Bunny cartoon where he just pulls things out from behind his back. But still, like I think it was an odd thing. All right, so before I go back to some of that stuff, let's work on the hands. Hands are a difficult part. Yeah, how many of you guys, now I know it's been a long time since I've done this on here, so how many of you guys remember when I was doing the how many of you guys were actually around when I was doing the draw along sessions way back when? You guys remember this? Yeah, I want to know who's new to this. And by the way, if you're just joining me for the first time, please set that notification bell so you can be here every time a surprise live stream comes on. And also, if you could please subscribe to this channel, as well as checking out some of the other videos. A lot of good stuff here. A lot of good stuff here. Yeah, so right now I'm drawing the more pronounced stuff. And in terms of that Legion, you remember this? Yes, Harry definitely remembers this. Now, in terms of the more the Legion Doom thing, like I said, I know it's coming. It's on its way. Maybe as soon as tomorrow. Band of superheroes like the Shadow, the Phantom, Zora, Flash Gordon. Ah, all right, that's the serialized guys, huh? You like those old serials, huh? Yeah, and as I said, remember. I will not be coloring this on screen today. I will do a colorized version of it digitally, and you stick around. I'll tell you later on how you can get your own digital copy of it. So that'll be fun because I haven't done that. I haven't done that really, giving away copies of this, but I figure why not as a special treat for catching me live and having your notifications obviously working enough that you were able to find me late tonight. So what better way to thank you guys than for sticking around with me while I draw. And I'm sure a bunch of you saw Double or Nothing. As you know, I didn't. Derek told me that the stadium match was amazing. He liked it a lot. Catman was great in Secret Six. Ooh, a Secret Six reference. That man had a villain. Yeah, bringing up bringing up the golden age. Oh, okay, all right. Okay. And if you like this, guys, let me know because I'm not opposed to doing more of it. As I said, I stopped doing it only because my apparatus that I had to hold my camera was disappeared on me. I had no idea where it went, what happened to it. Um, I made this is a makeshift one. A rig. This rig is it's very tentative. I don't dare speak of it because I don't want to hurt it or it to fall. But this is actually a mic stand, and I precariously have the microphone dangled on it. It is like a stiff breeze will knock it down, but I figured give it a shot. I was testing it out, and then I said, "Hey, it does work." So I said, "Why not give it a shot?" And let's. I was so excited to do it, I figured let's just do it now, and to see who's on. And then I figured, hey, if anybody is on late night with their notifications and checking, I might as well reward them by doing a giveaway. And of course, it's if you like. It's not mandatory. I'm not going to say, check this drawing. Like, I'm not going to do that. Brian Zane took your camera. He did. He did. It's true. Had my heart set on that thing. He kissed it right in front of me. Very mean of him. Harry remembering the kayfabe. Keeping it real. Raw Catman, Kite Man. I have a vague memory. I don't know if I'm right or not. I have a vague memory of in one of the Ultimate Alliances games of Black Panther alternating between cape and no cape. Like one costume he had a cape and another one there's okay. Dale says I never seen you draw before. You oh thank you. We're just on the pre-drawing stage, but I appreciate that. Yeah, it's something we've done on we used to do on the comic channel on Tuesdays. It was a fun draw along session. As I said, I used to break out the good stuff. I have the good stuff. I'm just not using it right now. But thank you, Dale. Okay, so. Dave Long has been here. Dave Long, you guys might know Dave Long. He's very talented. He's a professional comic book artist. He's very good. I can't believe I must have been thirstier than I thought. I almost drank all this water. Okay. What do you guys think? Am I done with the pre-drawing? Am I done with the pre-drawing? I think I'm done with pre-drawing. I don't tend to use the Sharpie, but I might. So might as well just leave it out here for now. Okay. Be gone, you lesser pieces of equipment. So we're on cape to half, cape to no cape. Yeah, but like in I don't know if it was the first one, the second one. Like the second one, I didn't like too much. Like the first one, I played like over and over again. The third one, I played a little bit of. Yeah, I'm trying to remember because I guess it was the first one. In my head, I feel like there's two versions, like T'Challa with the cape and then without the cape in the first one. Yeah, I don't know if I'm right or not. The first game, well, I played it a bunch of times. It's like one of those games that once I found my stride, once I found my team, I like never deviated from it. You know, I was like it was always. That's not 100% true. I had a slight deviation on it. It's my team was Spider-Man, was Captain America in the lead position in the up button, in the up spot. Left was Spider-Man. Right was Wolverine, and then on the bottom was normally Moon Knight. But every once in a while, but I did alternate between Moon Knight and Deadpool a lot. So. Because the teleporting just made things so easy. Like I did mess around with Silver Surfer a little bit, but I thought that Silver Surfer made the game just too easy. I was like, there's no point in even playing. Like I'm just cheating using Silver Surfer, so I didn't even bother. I was like, screw it. I'll use characters that are a little more fun. Okay, so time to get a little real with this. And I also forgot that me and Dave Long were supposed to do something together, and I dopely forgot. That's it. Dave Long, very talented guy. So, we go. So, moving on to ink now. No turning back. And you see, made the ears a little more cat-like. Just a little more. But, well, I said the simplicity makes life a little bit tougher for T'Challa. What does make life a bit easier for T'Challa is that his costume is so dark you can kind of hide things in shadow. So if you completely butcher something, just say, nope, that's the sun. That's not the part where the light source is hitting. That's the other side. If you screw up on two sides, then you got a problem. Then it's like, oh, what do I do now? That's the fun of Batman. Batman, though, because he's always like shrouded in dark, you could just say, oh, he's in a poorly, it's nighttime in Gotham, see, when I play games, I tend to be more towards the street level characters. I almost rebutted because they're not, but in my head, like, I am using street level characters, even though they're really not. It's like they're ground level, like they can't fly. Like Spider-Man is like, because he's not like Hulk and Thor and all those guys. He can't, and I know web slinging is essentially flying, but you know, but I get you. They're not like the Punisher, so they are but like Moon Knight is definitely a street level character, and like Wolverine is like superpower. But hey, game tech. So I get you. You heard Kurt Angle's return to TV. Yes, I did hear that. I did hear that. I did hear it. So, this is a call for rendering, I feel. Here's the other part. When it comes to drawing, sometimes you just gotta go with what you feel. And sometimes, like right there, what you feel was stupid, and then you make the wrong decision, and then you just hope that you can fix it later. But as I believe it was Bob Ross who would say, there's happy little accidents. Happy little accidents. Nothing to worry about, just happy little accidents. Ooh, that's what I need. Wait, I got it? I do got it. El Brushito. Turns out I did want this. El Brushito. However, this makes me wonder where my other one was. We should do an MCU watch party. We have? Haven't we? Did we? Yeah. As I was saying, I don't mind doing that, but it's just I kind of stopped when Chris Evans and all the actual Avengers were doing it because I was like, well, why would you want to watch it with me when you can watch it with them? All these guys jumped on my watch party bandwagon pretty fast. But it's okay, because I have the benefit of just watching the free TV stuff like SmackDown with you guys when all the rich wrestling YouTube channels are watching pay-per-view. Wait, Dave, that's you drawing? Yeah, what else do you think it'd be? I don't know why I think this proves that it's me, but, I probably should have done this when I was more awake. I almost thought I gave him too many fingers. And I was like, why didn't you guys tell me? So I guess Game Tech was not around for these back in the day. Yeah. But yeah, Harry definitely was. Harry remembers. Harry's something of an OG on this channel. The old channel. No, Albert. Yeah, it's Albert. It's Albert. I doubt it. No need for sarcasm, Harry. I've been reading, or been told, or I don't know, somebody something, about how now that this whole ordeal has been going on for so long, that people are getting more ornery, people's fuses are shorter. And I think that's true. I mean, I know for myself, I feel that way, and I've noticed like on this stream, like there's been more beef lately, or like more things have been argumenting. The child has a cape. That's news to me. Ah, you see, guys, see. We had the whole cape conversation earlier. No, I thought he was reacting to a video. Am I doing a good job reacting to the video? What is he gonna do next? Is he gonna use that pen again? Oh, look at that! He's using the pen again. It's amazing. He's not even drawing yet. He's just going around with it. Oh, let's see if he makes that duck noise. Yeah, there we go. I want to try if I can pretend to fake people out. Now I want to see if I can trick people into thinking I'm just watching somebody draw and reacting to it. Yeah, there are some cool how-to videos on this channel about drawing, like things that you can do yourself. But yeah, so anyway, yeah, like I was saying, if you're interested, kind of thing. This is one of those things I was draw. I do like drawing on this channel. It is fun, but and as I was saying earlier, I haven't been drawing as much at home as I would like to. I did have a piece of wrestling drawing I was doing that if you were here at the very beginning of this chat live stream, you were able to see it. A piece of wrestling drawing I've been working on. But these draw alongs that I do here, I tend to work a little bit faster than I normally do. I don't sit back and just and just soak it in as much as I would like to. My brain's racing right now. I'm trying to say like 25 different things at once. Wow, that is terrible on the abs. Okay. Okay, so there's pre-drawing, the pre-drawing. Ron, this is courtesy special request. Ron Hawthorne would like me to ask me to draw this. And as I said, you stick around to the end, I'll tell you how you can get yourself a colored digital copy of this, because I will be coloring it. One thing I do want to go back on. So pre-drawing, then inking, then super inking, and then color. But color I will not be doing on screen. That you'll just have to check it out for yourself. I want to redo these little triangle doohickeys because I changed when I realized I made the collar, whatever that collar thing is that he wears, or he used to wear, or if you're old, apparently if you're old, you know that Black Panther wore this. You young kids who only got the stylish, cool, awesome Chadwick Boseman Black Panther don't know about some of the awful fashion choices made by Black Panther once upon a time. So John Stallman lost his bet to Albert. Oh, did he now? What do they have to do? And again, it has nothing to do with me, right? Okay, so like, okay, see, here's my bug. Because like in the movie, it's just triangles, right? It's not like they're not like diamond shaped. Because like I'm trying to draw just triangles, but if I don't, because I'm torn between whether or not they look like this. I'm just gonna draw this one a little bigger so it's easier for you to see it. Like this, or like this. Left or right? Like which one do you want me to do for his necklace? I also feel weird. Hey, the train, Oliver Cromwell. He didn't take. Yeah, which one do you guys prefer? Is it like you want this kind of necklace? Because I don't feel that's right. But in my head, it was pronounced. Like in the movie, it came out a little. It protruded a little bit. But I don't. When I go to draw, that doesn't look right. So I don't know what to do. What do you think of the Matt Hardy spot? Didn't see it. I heard some of the results because I heard that I heard about the TNT tournament. That much I knew. I think that's it. And Derek from Monday Night Wrong texted me and said, like, dude, the stadium match is awesome. And I was like, Inner Circle and the Elite, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen. I said, dude, I'm not watching. He goes, oh, I'm sorry. And like, that's how the texting went. I was like, dude, I can't afford it. He's like, oh, my bad. I forgot. So it's like, never mind. Yo, it wasn't that good. It sucked. Like, so that's the only thing I know. Well, Spot was well timed. Was well timed wrong, to be honest. Well timed wrong. Good for you. That takes skill, especially since you conquered time. Dave, would you consider making a channel Dave knows if you want to make different content? As I said, I already have it. I have a whole bunch of Dave knows channels already on lock. They're all mine, but I just don't have anything on them. I hadn't done consistency, but like I said, because this channel, and there's several reasons behind it, and I'm not blaming anybody for this one, but this channel's growth is a little, it is extremely slow. So I feel like I had plans, for the first 3 years, one every year, but because this one, things went way slower than I thought. When I expected it to go faster, I didn't even bother with the third one, even though I had the gears already turning for it. But I mean, here's a weird detail. You guys are never gonna find it, but I do have another channel. Like there is already a third channel. It's not part of the Dave Knows branding. It's just a place where I put a lot of my my professional work on it, or some of my professional work on it, and things like that. I've used it for a plethora of other reasons. I have two microfilms on there. One is not good. The other one is, but the other one I actually think is pretty good. Yeah, Trey. Well, I'm not saying what they are, but there are a whole bunch of, just in case I actually do launch it one day. But yeah, I had a whole from the get. I had them all. There's just a regular Dave Knows channel. There's the regular Dave Knows channel, and then there's a whole bunch of other ones like Dave Knows this, Dave Knows that, Dave Knows, and so on. And I just never. I haven't, but I have them all claimed and all ready to go. I've seen both. I prefer the triangles. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Ron Hawthorne, for finally answering. Somebody answered it. Okay. So, yeah, because I think they have there is a I feel like there is a pronunciation on it in the movie, but when I try to draw it, it doesn't look right. Dude, you guys will never you guys will find out which ones I have when or if I ever launch them. You know what? Let's make it swoop down. Let's make this swoop down more. I also think the middle. Actually, you know what? Maybe that's the key. Maybe it's just the middle one, right? Maybe it's just the middle one that looks more pronounced. There we go. Maybe I'll do it like that. Okay. Dave trademark. Dave Knows. That's mine. Yeah. To a degree. I don't know. When did I start this, guys? I don't remember. As I said, I am like taking pauses in between, but for the most part, I move significantly faster for these. There's also on this channel 3-minute drawings where I just draw within 3 minutes. Haven't done one of those in a while. That was based off of the book 3-minute drawings, which is a cool book. I actually like that book a lot. It's actually a lot of fun to see what people can draw in only 3 minutes. Some of them are ridiculous, and I swear there's no way they're actually done in 3 minutes. I feel like those are lies. But okay, so moving on. There's El Brochito. Yeah, guys, I don't remember, but El Brochito is my favorite. Because you can make some really cool details with this if you try hard enough. I remember when I first got this, I started abusing it. Kind of like I am now, because I am definitely not using this in the smartest ways. Yeah, I gotta stop using this like an actual mark, like a regular pen. I gotta I gotta start using this smart. Three-minute warning tag team. Not exactly. Oh, and I just realized something. I could check to see when I actually. How long did I start streaming for? All right. I guess all the riffraff aside, I've probably been doing for like 35 minutes. I've been drawing because I'm pretty sure I yammered on and on. Not that I really stopped yammering, but you know. Okay. I've already overdone this. Who knows? I'm gonna have to break out that good stuff better than I thought. Okay. Maybe not the good stuff, good stuff. Okay, this is not even good stuff. I'm just gonna break down. I already went overboard. I tend to do this a lot. I tend to go overboard a lot. It's almost 3 a.m. for you too? Yes, it is. Oh, wait, no. Gotta go back to El Bruschito for a second. Yeah. The reason why I wanted El Bruschito. So I guess you're stateside in the northeast there, Game Tech. Cool. So don't forget, guys, stick around for just a little bit longer and we'll be able to go ahead and get you a digital copy of this bad boy if you want it. It may be a big if. So I'm screwing it up as we speak. Roman's brother was in that group. Yes, that is true. Oh yeah. How am I doing? A bit of a trick. By the way, not that this is a how-to, but don't use Sharpies to ink. I know I am, but don't. Everyone will tell you don't. It's not the best tool. I am because I'm lazy and because these are cheap. But yes, so, oh yeah, right. Oh man, I keep forgetting why I keep getting the brush out. Bring out the brush because it is great for making cloth lines. Absolutely great for that. None of you guys have asked about that wrestling drawing that the earlier guys got to see. Curiouser and curiouser. I thought there'd be plenty of people asking about that. Nope. Okay. So yeah, a trick is using your thicker, having thicker lines towards the bottom. Now there I'm drawing behind his head. If you draw it thicker lines towards the bottom of whatever it is you're drawing, adds a little more weight to it. Whew. And for really pronounced things, let me guess. The drawing is Hogan and Sting. How did you went back? Did you rewind? How did you rewind? I didn't know you could do that. Or were you here this whole time? How did you? How'd you know that, Harry? Can you rewind a live stream while you're watching it? I didn't know you could do that. There's no way he guessed that. Yeah, bud. Tell me how you knew that. I would like to know. Okay, you could rewind. Alright, yeah. Alright, well, never mind. Alright, so you guys don't need me to bring it back out because you could just rewind. So, I didn't know you could do that. But yes, it is, Harry. You are correct. Yeah, I did not know you could actually rewind a live stream as it is live. Oh, man. Don't screw it up. Just realized it's just pointing the wrong way. It's okay. So fix it. Anyway, so to further discuss this, the reason why you don't normally want to do your coloring with a Sharpie is because hey, what's going on, Nathan Norman? Good to see you. Been a while. Changed up the old image, I see. All right. The reason why you don't normally want to do coloring with a Sharpie or your inking with a Sharpie is because it's very thick. So it's hard to get precision lines because most of your lines are going to end up looking like these, like these, these lines that you kind of don't want. I mean, granted, I'm doing them, but still, like, they. But as you can see, it's not as. I'm gonna try to fix them later, but it's more thick lines, and it's harder to really see things the way you want them. I just realized a color drawing of this, which you guys can get your own digital copy of it. I might not have as much to offer since I'm going to be covering this a lot. But anyway, if you guys want a colored copy of this, go ahead and hit me up over on the Twitter, Dave Lee Russell over on the Twitter. Harry, if you would be so kind and put my handle in the chat if you can. But it's Dave Lee Russell. I am just butchering this right here. Yeah, hit me up, send me a message, tell me and say that you want the drawing. And I'll get you a digital copy sooner rather than later. And as I said, we are still going to do the $15 Game Legion of Doom. I know I got that promise, don't worry. It's happening, it's still going to happen. Yeah, so anyway, the reason you don't want to use a Sharpie typically is because it's very thick. It also bleeds very easily. It's harder to get a hold of some stuff. But I'm using it right now because it covers a lot of surface area. I do have my Better Art pens, or Better Art markers that I could be using for this, but those things, as I said, are expensive, and I'm going to be covering a lot of real estate with this marker, so I kind of wanted to just use something inexpensive, even though it's not the best thing, it's not giving me the best detail work that I want. And then you do stupid things like that. But thank you, Harry. Thank you very much. But yeah, it doesn't give you all the precision that you may want. But it does make very thick lines, and it is ways to cover. Actually, I don't mind the way it keeps turning out. Okay, so thank you very much, Harry. But there are some advantages. Also, the other advantage is that it's on the camera. You guys can see it's a little because the lines are thicker. It's easier to see. Um, so you can kind of get away with it on camera. Like you guys who will get the digital copy may notice that it's also not exactly what it may not look the same to you, and you might want to know why. Um, Other thing for me is perspective on these kind of draw-alongs are kind of weird because I kind of like to get my head right down on the drawing. That's typically how I draw. So I'm looking at this from a different perspective. So it's not exactly it's so like when I actually zoom in, it's gonna look different than I think it does. So some of these draw-alongs kind of are eye-opening for me because things don't look the way I think they're gonna do. So anyway, so yeah, guys, if you want a digital colored copy of this, just let me know over on the Twitter machine. I'll be more than happy to send it to you. I'm gonna do it. Just let me know. Just say what we're drawing. Tell me what time, and I'm gonna go and do the digital colorization of this. And whoever gets back to me by the time I'm done, I'll send you the copy. That's fun of me. Well, thank you. See, there's the things I'm unhappy with. Like some of these lines, like this is just an unmotivated line. So, all right, now that I got the major color steps out of there, so yeah, you don't typically use a Sharpie. I'm gonna put that away because I'll overdo it very quickly. Wait, no, never mind. See, this entire section is blank. It's like, why is this blank? See, there's a lot of shadowing here, so we gotta make up for it. Sharpies I actually think are okay for rendering, what's called rendering, which is just those line works I was doing there. You can't do it for fine rendering, but it's okay to. It's if you do it well, I think it kind of masks things. I'm sorry. I'm going to color the drawing later. I don't know what else to say. But yeah, I mean, you got a point there. I didn't mean it that way at all. See, now you got me all paranoid. Okay. I will add color to the drawing digitally later. How's that? Alright, time to do some massive repairs now because I just went overboard with the Sharpie. I tend to do that too. Yeah, that's the other reason I don't use a Sharpie because if you're anything like me, you tend to go overboard on it. So you guys got awfully quiet on me. You figured out how to get the drawing on Twitter. You all of a sudden you got quiet. Have you seen TNT Title Build? I did. It's not the prettiest thing in the world. Oh, man. Something I haven't been following, but something definitely you should do is try to pick your light source one way. So if you pick your light source one way, then color with the marker the other way, like fill in the gaps the other way. Or, you know, just do like what I did here, just make the whole thing one color. I'm kidding, don't do that. That was just me going overboard. The funny thing is, I said I was going to go overboard with this thing, and I still did it anyway. Like, I warned myself about going overboard, and yet I still managed to do it. So here's that rendering. I'm just going to add, like, dots. Because then it looks more... doesn't stand out as much. Okay, now I'm looking at the figure designs, and from the Royal Navy ships of the line, from the... What? You lost me. I'll be able to clean this up more digitally, too. Well, I don't love it. I definitely it's not as bad as the cable drawing I screwed up that one time. Well, I don't love it. I almost feel like I gotta stop so I don't just keep screwing it up more. So I think the more I try to save it, the worse I make it. They had shits back then, figureheads on them like artistically rendered. Oh, statues and codes. Hey, Geomar. Oh, thank you, Geomargo. Very kind of you to say. As I said, I went too far. I went too far. I went too far. So, when in doubt, I spoke keep going. Yep. Rendering's more like this. Well, at least in drawing. Cross-hatching kind of thing. Oh boy, I just don't learn my lesson. Oh, the problem is, since it's been a while, I'm going so far out. I'm trying to pull out all the stops. Trying to pull out all the stops instead of just leaving well enough alone. It's always easy to go too far on unforgiving medium. Wow, that is very well put. I will just say, if you guys don't talk more, I'm just going to have to keep going. So if I just keep going too far, it's your fault. You guys didn't stop me. You guys didn't pull me back from the brink of disaster. Okay, so as Harry Flynn was so kind enough to reproduce, if you want this drawing, just go over and reach out to me on Twitter and say you want the drawing, say who it is of, and if you do that before I am done, right after I'm done coloring, if you do that before I'm done coloring this, yeah, it's easy to get mesmerized, and that's exactly what it is. If you reach out to me over on the Twitter machine and say you want the drawing, by the time I am done coloring it digitally, I will send you a copy. Yeah. But you know what? I'm going to eventually pull back. Wait, no, I'm not. I'm kidding. I should have stopped. Should have stopped. Can't stop, won't stop. Alright. Yeah, screw it. Okay, I'm done. I've done more than I should have. Screw it. I'll fix it in color. I'll fix it in the digital edit. Thank you very much, Harry. I am not on the Insta. Can't leave well enough alone. Can't leave well enough alone. Alright. But because I'm not the biggest fan of this, I'm going to do a bonus drawing. Bonus drawing, okay, and you can get that one too. Alright, so get that one out of the way. Let me know. Somebody name a superhero real quick, or a supervillain. Name me some sort of comic book character. Hopefully someone where you can see their face, or at least I could get some facial features in there, because that's kind of what I do better, is facial features. So somebody name some sort of superhero, supervillain where you can see the face, preferably, or at least part of their face. Somebody name somebody quick. I want to redeem myself. Thor. I have done Thor on this channel. Well, someone other than Ron Hawthorne, because you got to make the request, this first request. I appreciate it though, but yeah. Stripperella, I do not have the energy for Stripperella. Try, but I like where your head's at though. Yeah, because I don't remember what Stripperella looks like off the top of my head. Name somebody because I keep thinking of Vampirella, so I know the name, but I have no idea what she looks like. Anybody else? Bueller? Anyone? Bueller? Anybody? Because you can get this one too. Yeah, there you go. Let me know on the Twitter machine whether you want the Black Panther drawing or this next one I'm about to do, or both. I don't care. Somebody. Name someone. I need to redeem myself quick. Alright. I'll do Hulk. Hulk works. I'm sure I've done Hulk on this channel before too, but you know what? Let's do something different. Strong guy. Ooh. Harry didn't say Hulk. I would have done. I would have liked doing strong. It's a superhero. I would have liked to have done strong guy. What do you think, Harry? Can I change the strong guy? You still want to do the Hulk? I know I never saw the movie. I'm going to do a very vague pre-drawing right now that it could be either strong guy or Hulk until Harry answers. So I kind of want to do strong guy instead. Okay, good. All right, cool. I kind of thought you'd be. You're a team player, buddy. So I kind of figured you'd be on board. And while you think they're both just big muscle men, strong guy has weirder proportions by a long shot. Again, I'm going off of this by memory, so I don't exactly have their proportions or their costumes 100% in my head, but I got enough. I was a real big, for the brief period of time, like the original X Factor was fine, which was just the OG X Men, the first five. But I really, really liked the team when they switched over to being the X Factor team when they switched over to being Havoc and Strong Guy. That's when I kind of saw. That's when I first got there. Was introduced to Strong Guy. Quicksilver, Polaris, Random. The character's name was Random. Multiple Man. I don't know, somebody else. I really liked. I got into the series then. Like I actually thought that was a really good series. I like the team. I like the dynamic. So yeah, that was actually the era I liked the best. Man, I just realized how little I know about Strong Guy's costume all of a sudden. Um, yeah, give me a second. Yeah, they were a really cool run there. Get away from me, Sharpie. I don't want you here anymore. Got me in enough trouble as is. He probably needs arms. That'd probably help. But yeah, so like, but not only do I start reading them there, but it's like that's my preferred Quicksilver team, X Factor team. Like, they brought him back a couple of years ago, like where Polaris was in charge, and then Quicksilver was still on team, and I was like, okay, maybe this will be the thing I like, and I liked that book. I did like that run of it. It ended way too short, and it was also during the time where Marvel was just torturing every X book possible and just making it like, hey, you can't enjoy this. And I think Gambit was on that team, but they did like nothing with Gambit. So yeah, this is going to be a less accurate Strong Guy. It was a generic train costume. It was, but I remember him having like a flak jacket. The details I'm missing right now is like I remember him having a jacket kind of thing, like this. But I don't remember if he had a collar or not. I also don't remember how the sleeves went because I feel like he had bare arms, but not like the monster. I mean, not like the animal, not monster, animal, but you know. I think we're good in there. Yeah, because I think in my head I was like, "Whoa, there's no Havoc," because I'm a big Havoc fan. But then I was like, "Oh, but they got Gambit." I'm like, "Oh, all right, that's an upgrade." And it's like Gambit like had nothing to do with that team, if he was even on it. That's how bad it was. I can't even remember if he was on it. And it wasn't that long ago. It was just a couple of years ago. Um, these round sunglasses, which apparently were things that stopped happening in the '90s. Truth be told, I don't think I've ever drawn Strong Guy before. This might be the first time I have ever drawn this character. So, thank you for suggesting it. Now, this was a hairstyle very evocative of something you would find on liquid television. This is a very. And I'm not even going as crazy. Screw it, let's go as crazy. It's a problem when I get tired. And I kind of want to do all kinds of crazy stuff. 90s was fun, over muscled, over sex, over armed craziness. That could only have come from a time period where everything was extreme. Yeah, extreme. I can't handle Gambit and Havoc in the same panel. Weird headgear. Well, Gianmargo, if I'm correct about that team from a few years ago, Havoc wasn't on there. But like I said, I'm a big Havoc fan. I always viewed him as the. I always viewed Alex as the better Summers brother. And while I'm not the biggest Ultimate Universe fan, I did like the dynamic they had where Alex was the older brother and they hated each other, because I actually thought that was much cooler than what it did in the comics. Because I also felt like in the comic book, I was like, man, why doesn't Alex hate Scott? He's so much cooler than him. Shouldn't he hate Scott? You have to put up with his crap for all as kids. But instead, no. So yeah, I also don't know how this collar thing works for Strong Guy. So I'm just gonna give him an open. No, that doesn't make any sense. That's not how collar works for this. Yeah, I have no idea how this flak jacket thingy goes. Because like I said, I think this is right, but I don't remember anything else. Excuse me, temporarily. I can't take it. Let's look this up. I wonder what happens when you Google. Okay, I was. No, stop it. I was kind of right. It's on the wrong side. Hey, Dale caught on to that pretty quickly. I guess the face gives it away. He's a really weird. I mean, he's a weird shaped guy, but also like, man, I gotta absorb this for a second because man, this is a weird costume. It's like I thought I was drawing his like weird proportions like extreme enough, and then I look it up. I'm like, no, I'm not even close. Did you heard the AEW debate? Brian Cage, yeah, Brian Cage showed up. As I said, I heard a few bits and pieces, but that was it. So okay, go Go back to the pre-drawing pen. So. Such an odd costume. Yeah, there are all kinds of like very unnecessary hoopla on this. I am intrigued though. I'm intrigued as to why anybody would buy this picture, this costume in real life. Like, how did Strong Guy come to accept this? Did he just look in the mirror and say, this? And he's also got a diaper. Also got a diaper. Wasn't weird enough. It wasn't weird enough. But of course, since he is a 90s character, he's gotta have gloves. Got to have gloves. And his hand right here is in a very weird position. It doesn't really make sense, but I kind of like it, and I think I'm going to leave it, even though it is very crooked and very busticated. I think I'm just going to leave it anyway. Also, what big guy reminds me of? Strong Guy? Big characters? I don't know. Who does he remind you of? I am already liking this drawing a million times better. As I said, those overly simple designs get me. It's so weird because I warned you guys. I told you I was going to do it, and then I wound up doing it, even though I was all aware from the very start that I was in danger of doing it. And yet I did it anyway, like a sucker. And I'm going to do the typical 90s thing where there's just some thumb floating out on top. Doesn't even make sense. I can't let go of the fist. I think I heard Jim Lee say this. If not, I apologize to whoever did say this to me. And by saying this, I mean like on an interview. It's not like they told me in person or nothing. But that when it comes to drawing hands, the way you screw up hands is when you try to draw each individual finger first. You're supposed to draw the shape of the hand and then draw the fingers. Maybe I figured that out on my own. I don't know. I have no idea where I got that from, but yeah. No, I think it was Jim Lee. Anyway. Yeah, you're better off just trying to draw the individual shape of the hand and then drawing the fingers instead of trying to draw the fingers first, because that just messes you up. Okay, I'm not spending as much time on the pre-drawing. I did a lot of time on the pre-drawing, and I think I'm ready to move on though. But yeah, so yeah, as I said, I'm already liking this a lot better. I'm trying to get a Sharpie marker out of here. Prosciutto, maybe. Who does it remind you of, Dale? Gotten kind of quiet on me. All you guys got kind of quiet. Did my internet stop working? Now, earlier what I said about simple designs, I gotta admit, Strong Guy's head is very simple. And I want to add more tchotchkes to it, more doodads. But I'm gonna fight that. The big guy and Rusty, the boy robot. I don't know who any of those people are. Okay, a little bit of rendering. Couldn't help it. Couldn't help. Alright, guys. Who are some of your favorite X Factor? How did you feel about X Factor? Who are your favorite X Factor teams? I guess I should do more stuff. I got kind of lost in the drawing, but yeah, let's get the chat room again. Come on, guys. Yeah, who are your favorite X Factor characters? What was your favorite X Factor team? Which ratio means more to you, head to body or body to hands and feet? Wow, great question. My instinct is to say hands and feet. Well, see, it's more hands than feet. Xbox Albert and Just Incredible. That's not what I meant, but good. I don't want to say good reference, but it was an obscure one, so I'll give you that. Because like I think of like the Hulk, the Incredible Hulk. If you draw the Incredible Hulk and you give him small hands, that looks weird. But you can give him really tiny. I'll say hands because feet I don't really think matter. Like Hulk with big feet, small feet. Like most of the time they're not even on panel. But like Hulk, giant hands, it has to be there. But I've drawn Hulk where he's like big body, and got a little tiny head. This would make his body look bigger, and is that important? Sure. But I feel like the hands kind of there. So. Don't get me wrong. I have, you kind of develop size based off the head. So, but that's a good question. I'll say hands and feet, just because you asked. But that's a good question. Never thought about it before. Mall big guy character in Wildcats reminds me of. Oh yeah. Yes, I hear you on that one. And look, I overdid it with the hair, so. When you get the colored version of this, when you get the colorized version of this, don't be surprised if I lighten a lot of this up. Especially since I'm telling you I'm going to do it. Now, I kind of forgot some of these elements that I drew. Like, what are they doing on his costume? Because, as we were talking in the 90s, a bunch of unnecessary stuff. So I kind of forgot some of these things because it's hard to figure out why they were here. Like, it's not like a pair of shoes where it's like, I know why he has shoes on because he has shoes on. You know how Amazing Red is related to Selena Faker? No, I don't. The character's name is Maul from the team called Wildcats. No, I know. I remember Jim Lee's Wildcats and Maul. Fairchild was always the character I liked the best. Personally speaking. Grifter was also very cool. I like Grifter as well. From Jim Lee characters. Jim Lee also created with Bruce Timm Sun Tzu for the video game, which sounds like Bruce Timm and Jim Lee combined together creating a character should be super fantastic, but yet nobody cares. And that game was actually good. Like I loved that game. Can't get two 90s with this. I was gonna say I was gonna leave a bunch of empty holes, but I'm like, no, let's not get two 90s with this. Let's actually give some lines. We can't leave all the lines to the audience imagination, the viewer's imagination, your imagination. Okay, Dale says his favorite Gen 13 Dave has a thing for it. I don't have a thing for redheads. I've learned my lesson the hard way on that on enough occasions that I don't. Um, I just thought she was a cool character, especially because it's like she looks normal, or she looks normal proportion, but then it's like if she's by herself, but like her whole deal is that she was gigantic, or like she was big, and I just thought that was cool because she like usually when you have characters who are bigger or like more or like larger, you draw them in a way that it's obvious they're like Strong Guy, for example. But I just thought it was cool. It's like, well, she's completely proportioned. She's just bigger in size, and so I was like, oh, that was kind of like so. Like from a strength perspective, it was just something interesting to me. My favorite members of X Factor are Havoc, Quicksilver, Random. I think you mean Strong Guy and multiple men. Yeah, that's pretty much who we're on. Oh, Wolfsbane was also on that team. That's who I forgot. Um, Derivative of friend, no, not necessarily a bad thing for Jim to experiment with that. Fair enough. In the '90s, Mystique, Sabretooth, Wildcat. Actually, that's not a bad team either. It was a very different direction. What direction of X Factor do you guys like? Because if you guys recall, there was in the beginning they were a corporation. It was a publicly funded corporation where it wasn't Xavier's wealth that they were cashing in on. Arguably tuition fees, whether or not they paid that. Some X mysteries just will go unanswered. But they weren't funded through that. They were a money-making enterprise. They were a corporation. A superhero corporation. I don't remember seeing this in that drawing I looked up, but you know what? I feel he should have a zipper. Because how else is he going to get this doohickey on? Like, the zipper was here, but I mean, like, the pulley part. So it was like a corporation. But then they became, like, instead they became, like, a government-sanctioned X-Men, where it was, hey, you can do this the legal way, and the government is going to stop trying to pretend mutants don't exist, and if they just close their eyes hard enough, that eventually they'll go away. Let's try working with it. Then they became a government thing where it was like they were influenced by the work that Xavier did to try and create their own X-Men. Sabretooth was awesome. So that was also another variation. For the most part, they've always been the corporation, but it was a cool variant that I thought, trying to make them like a government official X-Men. I thought that was cool. Like, I thought that was such a cool idea, having government approved superheroes. And then, oddly enough, I'd be on Captain America's side during Civil War. But, you know, whatever. You prefer Excalibur because Captain Britain is the best. Captain Britain. Nice. And going back to that Black Panther drawing, you see, because of his sleek, stylistic costume, it's hard to hide stuff. But with Strong Guy and 90s design, which is just full and loaded with stuff, I can add all kinds of kooky details and I don't even have to justify them. I rendered that in the completely wrong direction repeatedly. And you know what? It's okay, because we're doing a 90s costume. 90s costumes don't have to make no sense. People wearing hypercolor shirts and pumps in their sneakers. I know people still do that now. But hypercolor, then all bets are off. I think I've abused this number 3 a little too hard, because I'm beginning to see cracks in this game. Number 3 is the pen size I'm using. wish I had the number 5. I don't have one. Yeah. Captain Britain. It's strange to me. It's like I do feel that in comic books there's like way too much, especially like the big ones like Marvel and DC. There's like way too much priority put on America. Like, it's like a superheroes were a thing. How come America's like the only one that has them or has the majority of them? Like I know other countries do have them, but it's like there's a huge concentration on America. And it's like, do we just not hear about these other characters in the world? No, like, but as things expand, like there is some, but just not nearly enough. So while I'm an endorsement of having England's team, the problem I have with Excalibur is like at its best run, it took two of my favorite X Men off of the team, and so like it kind of will burn for that because it still stings a bit because I really like Nightcrawler. First of all, I also hated when Nightcrawler was the captain of Excalibur. He had no business leading that team, but it took Shadowcat and Nightcrawler away from the X Men for a period of time, which I don't want ever. Yeah, I don't know how you guys feel, but I am digging this drawing so much more. Turns out I was just out of stroke. I needed to get that one round out of my system. Russia has one team can. Yeah, like I know they have Alpha Flight and all that, but I'm just talking about the concentration. Like, how many American superheroes are in, like, let's say Marvel Comics? Like, hundreds. And it's like, well, there's a Canadian team and there's a British team, and it's like, yeah, and how many is in every other country in the comic books and like the Marvel universe? It's like, well, there's Big Hero 6. It's like there's a bunch of them, yeah, sure, but there's like what, like 20? But there's like hundreds upon hundreds from America. Like that's what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, I get it. I'm not trying to say there's none. It's just it's way disproportionate. And it's like with the MCU, they've made Shuri a bigger deal now, and so like Shuri's getting more play than she used to. But Shuri wasn't really a superhero before the movie. Like there was nothing, like she wasn't a prominent part, and they made her way smarter in the movie. It's like Black Panther was like the genius of Wakanda. Um, so it's like yeah, there are a good chunk of the characters in the Black Panther movie who were like heroes, but they are actually villains in the comic book. So it's like if you think about it, it's like how many superheroes did they really have in Wakanda? And yeah, fine. And Storm, this is always a questionable one. How do you count Storm? Is she African or not? And it's like I know a lot of people's first guess is yes, but if you read the comics and know the history, she was actually born in Harlem. She was born in Harlem. Then her parents took her to Africa, and that's when they had a plane crash, and she was trapped in a bunch of rubble, which created her claustrophobia. Then she broke out. She met T'Challa as a kid. Then she met up with the Shadow King, pickpocketed Professor X. Then Professor X took her in and made her an X-Men. It was like a very long-winded story, but technically speaking, she is American. And she also spent time so in a way she's American, in a way she's African. So it's like I think I mean I what her actual age in the comic books is differs, but depending on how you want to count it, you can say you could make the depending on when depending on who was writing it depends on when she left Africa, but you could make the argument that she was probably in Africa more than she was in America, but you could also say it was the other way around too, depending on how old she was when Professor how old she is in the comic books now and how old she was then. Because you could make the case that she spent probably 10 years in Africa, and if she's. Actually, yeah, I guess she spent more time in America. Never mind. Because I can't picture Storm being in her 20s. I think, like, to me, Storm is like 35. I don't know if that's accurate, but. But then, she also spent some time in Africa as a queen, too, so it's a tough call. Exploring the villain Apocalypse, yes. And the thing about X Factor, too, is, like, Apocalypse was a big deal in it, but he wasn't, like the end all be all that he's become now. Like, and I'm not complaining about that. I think that's awesome that he's getting so much play. But there was like he was just another bad guy. He was just a dude there, and then and to me it was like the X Men Legends game is what really made him out to be. It's like whoa, it's Apocalypse, run! And it's like in the cartoon they made him a big deal too. I'm not trying to say they didn't. It was like he was a big deal, but he wasn't like a big deal until like in the comic books Age of Apocalypse really put him on that like nth level. And then I feel like that video game really put him to a nice thing. Dale says, I feel like Wildcats are trying to be like X Factor. In a way, I can see that. In a way. But nothing wrong with that. I won't complain about it. I won't complain about it, and unlike this weird diaper that strong guy wears, that I'll complain about because that is just... This is just weird. This is just silly hoopla nonsense. And also, just like a lot of 90s characters, oddly disproportionate legs. It's strange. I have more and less of this. I have more as well as less of this drawing done than I think. Some ways I have more of it done, and other ways less. Okay, I am going to use the Sharpie. Just. Just to do that. Okay. Built like Bob Sapp. You know, Bob Sapp is a dude who probably should be a superhero. I know I'm far from finished. I just can't think of. Do I want to do it? Do I want to do it? Do I want to do it? Because I'm mostly done, but it's time to do the finishing touches. Yeah, so go ahead and reach out to me on the Twitter machine and let me know if you are down for either or both of these drawings. Just let me know and I will send it to you. I'm going to take more of my normal style approach. I actually want to keep it more simplistic, which is typically what I do. Oh, yeah, right. I tend to keep things a little more simple, a little more clean. It's normally where my head is at. So I'm going to do a bit of rendering, but not too much. Yeah. So okay. Who is who's your top three strong men, strong characters in all of comic books? Who would you say are the top three strongest ones there is? Who would you guys say? And so far, I don't think I'm going to use El Brochito. I love Brochito, but I don't think there's a need for me to use it. Could it be I'm not going to use El Brochito at all? I love it so much. Superman Supreme. Ooh. Alright, good list, good list, good list. Hold on. Okay, so Nathan Norman says Superman Supreme. Oh, Sentry. But if I was going by design, it would be very different. We'll go by design as well. Supreme and Sentry. No Hulk on that list. Very surprising, because to me, it's Hulk. He's the strongest one there is. But yeah, I guess Superman is a no-brainer. Alright. I don't want to... Okay, Hulk, Pitt, and Lesnar. Net comic book character, C.O. Marco, but yeah. Alright, I said I wasn't going to use you, but here we are. Don't fail me now. I don't know why I didn't hear anybody screaming, "Don't do it, don't do it!" Too late now. Too late now. It's my world now. It's my world. Sharpie's world. It's Sharpie's world now. Mall Hulk. Wonder Man. Really? Wonder Man makes it for design wise. You think Wonder Man looks all that powerful? I don't. I like the character Icon, Alien, who's like Superman. Yeah, no, I know Icon. I know Icon. You don't have to explain who these people are. I know who they are. Interesting thing about Icon for me has always been: does he count as an African American superhero? Because I know a lot of people do, but he is an alien. His backstory is amazing, and of course, he was created by the amazing, wonderful Dwayne McDuffie, who I'm a huge fan of because I think he was an absolute genius, and he does not get all the credit that I think he deserves. And for anybody who's like a super dork, I listen to a lot. I used to listen to a lot of commentary for the DCAU, and especially when he talked, because Bruce Timm, of course, Paul Dini, of course, but Dwayne McDuffie, I was always very interested in hearing how he crafted stories and what he was going for, and somebody who hearing him clash with James Tucker was always not. Never mind. I don't know if there is another famous James Tucker, but if there is, I'm talking about the comic book one, James Tucker, because they very much have different mentalities, and I'm totally more on the Dwayne McDuffie side of the line when it comes to those kinds of things. Ion-powered Wonder Man when he is... Oh, yeah. When he's got the Kirby crackle. The Kirby dots. I guess. I like how... yeah, so... Yeah, Icon's got has an amazing backstory. Like, I think it's very cool. Um, Okay, bye, Sharpie. You begun. All right, Sharpie. You began to fail me, so you're gone now. I will look upon you no more, and I will try to mean it this time. As much as I hate his diaper, I gotta admit it doesn't look of that bad. In terms of how I drew it, I'm actually okay with it. This is one thing I definitely know Jim Lee said. When it comes to the trick of a drawing is you gotta blend techniques so it's not clear which one you used. So if you blend techniques so it's hard to see, Wonder Man from the Skull brought him back into life. Yeah, no, I recall. I don't count him as African American the same way I do count Superman as European. Right. Right. You know, so like, because I get in this conversation a lot when I talk about how good Dwayne McDuffie is, or like, you know, great black superheroes. People say, "What about Icon?" I'm like, it doesn't count. It's like, I mean, I hear you, but you know, so you know, it's one of those things I don't really know. Okay, so guys, who is your All right, let's stick with the muscle thing. Name the 3 strongest acts you've heard about in read, saw, heard about in comic books. Name the 3 biggest, super like strong, like you can't believe this guy did this acts. Physical acts, feats of strength. I get lost in the drawing sometimes, and I forget that this is a chat, and I got to lead the chat. So, lead the chat I shall. I gotta come up with things. I get lost in the drawing. I can't get lost in the drawing. Can't get lost in the drawing. Ooh, missed opportunity there. Bit of thickness. Marvel comic. What if Wonder Man and Nick Cage? What is Women DC Comics is going to do Wonder Man into Wonder Woman? Yes, Wonder Man. Let's go. Yeah. So name your 3 biggest feats of strength from comics. Let's see if we could say something cool that someone is just going to learn about for the first time. See if we can get one of those out there. It's a shame. I actually like that side of the diaper, but it had to be done. Maybe it didn't have to be done, but I was doing it anyway. Hulk holding up a mountain in Secret Wars, yeah, absolutely. Thor wrestling and almost oh, right, yeah, and Superman. String together multiverse. Actually, those are pretty solid answers, guys. Anybody else got any others? Those are pretty strong. Hard to top. Pretty strong, no pun intended. And I'm doing it again. I'm going too far. I'm going too far. Stop going too far. Stop going too far. Now here it's like I'm going too far and I'm trying not to, but I'm doing it because I'm trying to sell the image of the darker part of his costume here, this dark blue part. So it's like I'm trying to color it, but I don't want to color it in a way where it takes the drawing over. But I feel like I'm going to. And I feel like I have in certain places. And for some odd reason, my brain doesn't back off. It goes, do it more. That'll solve the problem if you just do it more. Commit. Commit to it. Stop being afraid of it, and it'll work. Instead of saying, yo, stupid, chill. You've done it too much. If you stop now, maybe we can let go. But no, I don't do that. My head does not listen that way. I wish it did. I wish it did. too shabby. Oh, let me fix this. That's pretty unnecessary, but screw it. I went too far, but I'm gonna keep going too far because I'm that kind of guy. Yes, true sinister. It is very late. Good to see it. It's about impact for me. A feat of strength like little car lifting the car can give you heavies in the right context. Very true. I'm going to say African American heroes only if it's got the Static, Predator, and John Stewart Green Lantern. Good call. What if Conan versus Thor have the powers of the Chromebook? Okay. Really, don't worry. But in all actuality, I'm pretty much done. I don't see any point in doing anything more. I don't see the point in doing much more because I'm just gonna screw this up if I'm left to my own devices. Okay, so what if comics was going to be Marvel Comics was going to be sued by DC? Sue them for what? It's very late. Okay, guys. So yeah, that's a drawing. I think I've done accomplished this one. I'm actually pretty happy with this one. I think this one came out better than I was actually expecting it to. Wait, hold on. You always forget. You kind of forget to shade the X symbol sometimes because you just think of it as a red circle and forget that it has its own life and nature and shadowing, so you kind of just do that. Marvel and DC sued each other a bunch of times. Yeah, that's also true. Okay, so here we go, guys. Here is your strong guy drawing. Before I just continue to botch it, I would just let it go. I want to keep working on the legs because I don't think... Alright, never mind, I will. It's very late or it's very early, depending on your perspective. It's all about perspective. Okay, I'm still not happy with the legs, but screw it. I'm done. I always get torn between how do I want to do the leg muscles versus just drawing the legs. But anyway, so yeah, reach out to me over on the Twitter machine. Let me know what you want, if you want this drawing or the Black Panther drawing. And if you have reached out to me on Twitter, by the time I'm finished coloring them on the computer, colorizing them on the computer, I will give you a digital copy. All you gotta do is let me know. But thank you for being here. Most dramatic acts in the comics, though, is the Executioner's Last Stand by God Brew. It was epic. Ooh, okay. All right. So, but thank you guys. So, thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed this. As I said, we're gonna have more. I'm planning on the Doctor Doom thing. Doctor Doom, Legion of Doom. The Legion of Doom one. I am planning on doing that. So, just hang tight. Be here. Thank you for keeping me